It had progressed to like 72-ish degrees. Hey everyone, today I'm going to be talking about my scoliosis. So scoliosis, if you don't know, is the curvature of the spine. So basically some people will have a C curve, which means they've just got one curve in their spine. Some people will have an S curve, which means they have two curves. And in very, very unusual cases, people will have like several curves. And I had an S curve. A couple of doctors have said you have like several curves because I have like apparently a really, really little one up closer to my neck, but that one I don't think even that like hardly counts. So I say I've got an S curve. I'm gonna get to the point of why I'm actually posting this later in the video when it comes to it. I'm just gonna start from the very beginning. I think I was like 10 maybe, and my dad, he like just told me, hey Kaylin, bend over. And he like ran his finger like down my spine, and I said, you know, what's wrong? Is there something wrong? And he goes, yeah, I think you got scoliosis, but you know, it's nothing to worry about. Your mum and I both have it. So like both my parents have it. My dad's sister, so my auntie, has it. Yeah, so it's like it runs in the family, but no one has needed surgery or anything. Like it's not a big thing, they thought. So they were just like, you know, whatever. Kind of just forgot about it for the next few years. It didn't give me any pain. It didn't affect my life. I didn't even know it was there really. I just completely... That was my dog. I'm gonna shut this window because otherwise the dog's gonna keep barking and you're gonna hear it. Okay. And then I honestly can't quite remember how it happened. I think my mum like asked to look at my back at some point, and she realised that we need to get that checked out. Don't take me word for word on this because I don't actually remember a lot of it for some reason, even though this was only like last year. So there's this doctor at the church that I go to, and at one point after church, my mum, you know, got her to look at my back, and so she said, oh, you know, there's a friend of mine who goes to this neurochiropractor, so a chiropractor that also focuses on areas of your brain to help your body. It's really weird, but I mean, I think it works. We went there and we went for a few months, and I recommend it. I highly, highly recommend it. If you have like a neurochiropractor around, I think for a slightly more mild degree, it would be really good, and for lots of other things too. I highly recommend it, and it did take away my pain because at that point I was having pain too. But it just, I think for where I was at, it wasn't, aside from taking away a lot of the pain, it wasn't doing enough for me. It didn't do anything for the actual curve, and that was because the curve could get worse because I'm still growing. And so we stopped going there. I had been going to some doctor's appointments and stuff because, you know, I had to get x-rays and whatnot. It just wasn't going to happen. We weren't going to do surgery. We were going to look at bracing or some kind of physiotherapy or something. We just were not going to do surgery. I forgot to mention that when we were going to the chiropractor, they said, oh, your curve looks about 45 degrees. That's my top curve because I have an S curve. But I'm not sure if it just progressed really rapidly or if they were just completely wrong. I can't, honestly, I went to so many like doctor's appointments and different types of doctors, and I don't even know. I can't even keep track. I have no idea. When we got an x-ray, they said that it was 66 degrees. And so I was there thinking, oh my gosh, this is terrible. I'm gonna die. I didn't actually think I was gonna die. I knew what it was. So we went to a bunch of different places. After like 5 months or something, we went to this, I think it's called Scoliosis, and this was in Sydney. And we went there, and because it's basically specialized bracing and therapy, so it's helped like tons of people with scoliosis. And that's for like, we found out when we got there that it's more for curves 50 degrees and under. Like it can sort of work for 50, maybe up to 60 degree curves. Like it's really good. It's mostly like 50 down though. We went there and we got another x-ray, and when we got there, because they, you know, wanted to check. It had been 5 months, and because I was still growing, it had progressed to like, they couldn't decide whether it was like 71 or 72, but it doesn't really make much of a difference. We couldn't go there because they said, no, sorry, it's way out of our range. And I went to, again, like a whole heap of doctor's appointments and everything. A couple of those doctor's appointments, I can't remember which ones, but like a couple of them, the doctors kind of just really enforced the fact that we could leave it if we wanted to. Bracing wasn't an option anymore, but we could leave it if we wanted to and not get surgery. But I was still growing, so the fact that it had progressed like 7 degrees or something in that 5 months, even though 7 degrees isn't a huge amount, in fact it's quite small, it just like in 5 months or 4 months, it was like, that's a fair bit. And so we kind of realized, like, if it's going to keep progressing at this rate, like at least a degree a year, even when I've stopped growing, it will progress at least a degree a year. We kind of realized, okay, surgery is the only option. This whole time I was kind of like, I don't even know what's going on. So my mum has done so much for me. She has been amazing. The amount of research she has put in, hours and hours and hours of research, like, you have no idea. She put in so much research for me while I was just going to school and doing normal stuff, just like, please deal with this, I don't know what to do. So whenever she would ask me for my opinion, I generally wouldn't have much of an opinion. It's just like, whatever you think is best. Eventually she found this type of surgery which isn't fusion. So fusion is where they basically pull your spine into place with a cut down your back, pull your spine into place and put 2 titanium rods down either side of it. And so essentially it's turning your spine into one bone. And for some people, if there's different complications, like if it's it could be affecting their breathing or, you know, different things, for some people that's the best option, that surgery, and, you know, they can't really do anything else. But for me and my family, we were just kind of like, you know, we don't really want to do that if we can find another option, because it's so invasive. And so my mum did so much research, like, you've got no idea. And she eventually found this more uncommon type of surgery. This is where I tell you the reason for this video. The reason for this video is to raise awareness, and for this channel actually. The reason for this video and this channel is to raise awareness for this sort of surgery, because I want other kids like me to know that there's a different option to fusion. So I wanted to just kind of let people know about it, because there are so many people who have just, like, fusion is their only option, because the doctors generally do not say anything about VBT or ASC, which is the one that I'm getting. VBT is for kids that are still growing, and ASC is the one that I'm getting for kids that have either stopped growing or are coming to the end of their growth period, which I'm coming to the end of it because I'm 14. Although you can kind of, VBT you can get from sort of, some 16-year-olds will be able to do it, whereas some 12-year-olds won't be able to do it. So yeah, I'm 14 and it was kind of, it was an option. I could do it, but it just probably wouldn't have worked very well. VBT and ASC, I'm not like, I don't know the difference between them. I think it's like ASC, they do some correction when you're in surgery as well, but VBT, they just do it. So they go in from the side, so it's less invasive. So they'll like go in from the side and they will put, basically they'll put like screws into the vertebrae and then put a tether on it and then pull it tight, so that it'll like constantly be pulling tighter, and eventually, if it's like this, actually what is this? So this is my spine, and then as it gets pulled tight, it'll come up like this. So like, hang on, this is horrible demonstrating. Okay, so like this is my spine. So they put the different screws in, and they put a cord there, and then pull the cord tight so that eventually, after like a couple of years, it'll go straight. Supposedly, it'll probably still be a tiny bit bent, but you know. So that's the surgery that I'm getting. This is going to take ages to edit. I've messed this up so many times. My mum, again, did heaps of research, and we found the right place to do it, and that was America. There's several different ones done all over the world. There is one that is done here in Australia. Poet. But it's like, I can't remember. I think it was that there was a couple of reasons. So we couldn't do that one. But then there's a couple of other places over the world that do this surgery. And we found America, and we were like, yeah, let's do America. And then we saw the criteria for it. You had to be, I think it was like 70 degrees or under, and you had to be within your growth period. There were a whole bunch of different criteria, and I fit hardly any of them. So we filled in an application anyway, and you know, tried getting in there. But the thing is, they still haven't replied. America, it's like the one in America called Shriners. They take like up to, I think it's like 5 months or something to reply, and they still haven't replied. So we kind of worked out after a while, alright, we're not going to end up fitting into the criteria, they won't accept us, and they're going to take too long to reply. So, and obviously we wanted to get the surgery done as soon as possible so that my curve didn't get bigger. And so my mum researched some more places, and eventually it was a toss-up between Istanbul and Germany. And I can't quite remember what the thing was that made us choose it. We went for Germany. My surgeon's name My surgeon's name is Dr. Chabish. And if you want to like know more about this surgery that I'm getting, you know, if you are gonna need surgery and you're just trying to find more options, Google Dr. Chabish. It's a very specific spelling. Like if you spell it even slightly different, it will not come up. So as long as you spell it exactly the right way, I'll put it on the screen now. We are leaving for Germany on the 25th. Oh, the other reason that I'm making this channel is, I mean, I'm going to be posting random stuff too with my friends, or just challenges or whatnot, just for fun, you know. But I'm also going to be vlogging Germany and my surgery. I'm pretty sure that's all. I've probably left stuff out, but I'll probably just put it in the description if I've left stuff out. So I'm not going to be that YouTuber that's just like, subscribe to me please, but subscribe to me please. No, I'm kidding. You don't have to subscribe, and no one's going to subscribe, but you know, we're gonna do this anyways. Just stay tuned. I've also got a couple of videos planned, and they're gonna be pretty fun, and they're about my scoliosis, and I'm hoping they're gonna be funny. Thank you for watching to my 0 subscribers.